It's a big year for Turkey, celebrating their centenary year as a FIFA-affiliated nation. Played their first competitive fixture in 1923. There was a massive tifo denoting that century reached behind one of the goals at the Samsun Stadium as the handshakes begin and the Wales players break away to take their place on the pitch. A reminder of the teams then. For Wales, it's Ward in goal, Roberts, Mepham, Rodon and Williams in a back four, Ampadu, Morel and Ramsey in midfield, Wilson, James and Johnson up front. For Turkey, they're playing a 4-3-3 as well by the looks of things. Günok in goal, Çelik, Demiral, Bardakci and Kalioglu in a back four, Özcan, Çalhanoğlu and Kutçu in midfield. Ünder, Atatürkoğlu and Yilmaz are the front three. Our referees come from Italy this evening. Fabio Maresca is the man in the middle. Maresca, a name becoming more familiar by the second to English football fans, as Enzo Maresca has just taken over as the new manager of Leicester City. And we've seen, just before we get a couple of managerial departures today from the Premier League and, well, the Championship. Gary O'Neill being taken out of the managerial firing line at Bournemouth, and we've just heard the last hour about Darren Moore leaving Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, a real shock, isn't it, after such a terrific season, had its ups and downs on that terrific winning streak, and then obviously the dip, but then to show that character to get themselves going again in the playoffs, that defeat against Peterborough, that miraculous comeback, and then to go on and win the playoff final. It seems a bizarre choice, but at least he leaves with his name held high now at Sheffield Wednesday.
So what of Rob Page, who for the first time since taking over the interim spell and then the permanent contract after Ryan Giggs stepped down, questions are being asked about Rob Page tactically. How will he cope tonight without the big battering ram of Kiefer Moore leading the line up top? They're going to have to be a bit more cute about how they approach this game. I imagine they'll be filtering back into their defensive third a lot more. Turkey will probably have a go at them early on, David.
Yeah, Turkey will be full of confidence, and Wales on their hand, this is a must-not-lose game. Ideally you want the 3 points, but if they lose it, I do feel they're out of that qualification campaign. I think it's going to take something miraculous to get themselves back in, but at the moment 2 points behind Turkey. If they lose, goes to 5. It's a big ask for Wales to get back into it from there.
Two teams get through from each group to the Euros. We're underway on talksport 2. Wales kicking from right to left as we look in their all-white change strip. Turkey in all red. And straight away, Daniel James is claiming a free kick on halfway, which the Italian referee wants nothing to do with. The ball's out on the left-hand side with Ferdi Kalioglu, and a terrific atmosphere around the stadium that holds around about 33,000 at full capacity. It's not far shy of that for this crucial game. Turkey were 2-1 down going into stoppage time against Latvia on Friday night, but 2 late goals saw them pick up all 3 points. They have reached the last couple of Euros. The World Cup record since reaching the semi-finals in 2002 is pretty poor, and they've got some defending to do early on as Wales come forward. Chance for Harry Wilson to drive the ball from 20 yards out, with a brilliant block at the edge of the area by Bardakci, and Turkey try and launch an attack down the right-hand side, but Ünder can't keep it in play. Actually, it was Barış Alper Yilmaz that chased after it, but it's been guided out of play, and Wales have a throw. 0-0, Dave Edwards.
An early sign there of how Wales are going to play. Drop back into a 4-4-1-1. Aaron Ramsey just in behind Brennan Johnson, but nicking the ball and countering really quickly. Aaron Ramsey set the attack apart, and all of a sudden you got the movement and pace of that front three. And Harry Wilson onto his left foot. He had a great run from Dan James to his right hand side. He opted not to go for it, went for the long range shot and it was blocked, but this is how Wales are going to play this evening.
When these two teams met in the Euros back in 2021, Aaron Ramsey had the freedom of Baku 2 or 3 times in the first half, and he was found eventually by Gareth Bale for the opening goal of the game. Wales went on to win 2-0 that day in Azerbaijan. Conor Roberts got the second. Ideally they would love a repeat performance tonight, but it's a very different Turkey, it's a very different Wales, and the whistles go up as a free kick is given for a foul by Kutçu. And that's why the whistles are going up all around the Samson Stadium. Wales have a free kick, and in fact the referee wants a word with both Kutchu and Joe Morrell of Portsmouth. Getting a bit feisty out there already in these early minutes. 0-0.
It just looked like there was an instant off the ball with Kutchu and Joe Morrell. The referee stopped play. The Wales will be happy with their start though. They're in their shape really well, something they didn't do the other day.
We've just seen the incident where Kutchu just leans into Morrell and Morrell just went down like the proverbial sack of spuds.
He's got his side of foul.
The free kick is taken from inside their own half. Work back to Joe Roden. To his right is Chris Mepham of Bournemouth. 3 minutes gone on talksport 2. Turkey 0, Wales 0. Connor Roberts giving chase down the right-hand side. He's won a throw for Wales, pretty much level with a penalty area. They've taken it quickly. Wilson trying to keep the ball in play down by the corner flag. Did so, but presented the ball back to Turkey, and the home side will clear their lines. But that was good defending by Mepham, at least I thought so, but the referee disagreed. Turkey have a free kick inside their own half, 0-0.
And although Chris Mepham gave away the foul there, Turkey were on the counter-attack, so it was a good foul to give away. Once again, something they didn't do well enough against Armenia on Friday night. Too many times that Armenia counted on Wales into those big gaps, but Wales much more compact in these opening stages.
But now Yilmaz trying to get inside the area, and Rodon and Mepham between them managed to smuggle the ball clear, but Williams can't keep the ball in play on this near side. Throw to Turkey, taken quickly. It's down the right hand side with Under. Had a short spell at Leicester City, which only yielded a couple of goals during his time playing at the King Power. Ball's worked back to Bardakci. And now Çalhanoğlu, the captain of Turkey, been excellent for Inter Milan. Terrific, inventive midfielder. Wales will want to keep him quiet tonight. Demiral, one of the two centre halves for Turkey, plays the ball just over the halfway line to Çalhanoğlu. Back with Bardakci. Looks to clip it down the left-hand side. Kadioglu's made a good run. Roberts trying to close down the space. Kadioglu gets to the left-hand corner of the box, works it back infield to Özcan, but Özcan's ball further back towards halfway allowed Harry Wilson to at least get a toe in Dave Evans and get it clear.
Yeah, as we expect, Turkey are dominating the ball at the moment, but like I said about Wales being compact, they drop deep really quickly. Get the full-backs nice and narrow as well, forcing the ball wide, protecting the middle of the pitch.
Ramsey wins the ball back inside his own half and guides the ball back to Danny Ward. First time clearance downfield over the head of Brennan Johnson, but he will drop for Harry Wilson. Guides it back to halfway. Morrell scoops a nice pass out to Connor Roberts on the right wing. Looks to play a 1-2 with Morrell and get further down the right hand side, but that was well read by Kadioglu, the Turkish left back. Now the ball's played infield to Ampadu. Ampadu looking for Brennan Johnson down the right hand side of the box. Great pace, Johnson angles tight, fires it into the side netting. But that's a decent ball to get Brennan Johnson in behind, but he's now holding his right ankle as he walks back over the dead ball line onto the pitch. That's not a good sign for Wales. It is 0-0, but Brennan Johnson may have hurt himself in making that run.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Brennan Johnson, but really positive from Wales though. The way they set up is impressive, and this time Joe Morrell started the attack, had the calmness to bring the ball down in midfield, played it into Ethan Ampadu, played a lovely ball into Brennan Johnson. There's going to be so much space down the side of these Turkey centre-backs because the full-backs are so attacking for Turkey, and Brennan Johnson exploited that space, got in, always a tight angle, didn't have support with him, went for goal, hit the side netting. But really good start from Wales.
Heavy rain on the Black Sea coast of Turkey as the home side come forward. Brennan Johnson didn't need any treatment, incidentally. He seems to be moving all right. We'll keep half an eye on that for you, see how that develops, but he was just holding his right ankle as he came back onto the pitch, having run out of ground with that shot from a tight angle. Morrell, meantime, fires the ball back to his keeper Danny Ward, who takes a touch and clips it to his left for Joe Roden, and Roden plays the ball in field for Morrell. Morrell up towards the halfway line. Ramsey takes over. Needs skill to keep the ball away from Özcan, but then he's dispossessed. Legally, says the referee from Italy, and away come Turkey on the counter-attack. And it's with Atatürkoğlu, with a cross from the left-hand side, but Little toe end from Nico Williams took it away and out of play for a throw. Taken quickly by Turkey down the right-hand side. Celik finds Under. And the right-back Celik again works it infield for Özcan. And this heavy rain will make the playing surface very slick, David Edwards.
Yeah, you can see that Turkey trying to use the surface advantage.
Yilmaz trying to get in behind, but good defending in the end by Chris Mepham inside his own penalty area, and anywhere will do for Wales. 7 minutes gone on talksport 2, Turkey 0, Wales 0.
It's a fantastic tempo. Turkey really trying to play as quickly as they can. Every time the ball goes out, they're getting it back in as quickly as possible, forcing Wales to get back, and at the moment Wales are matching them, but Turkey are coming more and more into this game.
Demiral, lovely ball for Celik in behind, right-hand side of the area, pulls it back across the face of goal, and it's turned in for an own goal by Chris Mepham. He's claiming an offside, but a wonderful, slick passing move. Wales were opened up. Celik pulled the ball back from the byline, and Chris Mepham could only divert the ball into his own net, and Wales are behind early on in Turkey. The ball in behind. VAR will take a look to see whether Celik was indeed onside. Once he was, pulled it across the face of goal. Mepham stuck out a right boot and diverted it into his own net for what could well be Turkey 1, Wales 0, pending a VAR check.
It's going to be close. Celik, did he go a little bit too early? He might have done, but it was fabulous play from Turkey. Incisive passing down the inside of Nico Williams, got caught out. Celik takes his time, waits to try and pull it back to Yilmaz, and Chris Mepham stuck out a right boot, flies into the top corner, but was it offside? It's going to be close.
Our Italian referee just tells the players to wait. He's waiting for instruction in his earpiece because VAR is checking for offside on that slide rule pass from Mehdi Demiral to get the fullback Celik in behind Nico Williams. If he has timed that run right and it is onside, it's a sensational bit of work from the two defenders for Turkey to open Wales up down their left-hand side. We're just watching. It's very hard to tell. I think Mepham is the deepest player as the ball is played down the right-hand side to Celik, Dave Edwards.
Yeah, Chris Mepham has the best view. He's the deepest one. He can see right across the line. He thinks it's offside, but this is where Wales have to be careful. As they do drop deep, the centre-backs from Turkey, Demiral on this occasion is going to step in, and if they pick the pass, then all of a sudden Wales are in trouble like they were on that occasion.
Still we wait for a decision to be made by the VAR team. They're drawing the lines on the computer screen, I assume. The whistles go up around the Samson Stadium in anticipation of what they hope will be confirmation of an opening goal for Turkey. Chris Mepham rubs his chin. He waits as well. Hands on heads everywhere. This is taking an awfully long time to determine whether this is indeed a goal. And referee Maresca now mopping his brow. He's looking a little annoyed that things have yet to be cleared up. Again telling the players just to back away. He doesn't know yet. Now more and more players are approaching, saying, come on, what's happening? Hakan Çalhanoğlu. And he's been told to go and look at the screen. Now, I've never known that, a referee being told to go and look at the referee review area for what is a potentially an offside call, David Edwards.
Never seen this. You see the screen, he's looking, there's no lines on it.
Why is the referee being asked to go and look at a screen when it should be the technology that's making this decision for him for an offside decision? That's all this goal's about. It's not about a handball. He comes back to the edge of the pitch, does the VAR sign, and says it's no goal, it's offside. Now, I don't think I've ever seen that ever before in the history of VAR, a referee being asked to go to the referee review area to determine whether a pass is offside or not. That, I mean, it's brilliant for Wales, but that is extraordinary stuff.
Outrageous stuff. We've just seen a picture of the Wales fans in the crowd. They're laughing their heads off. They can't believe what they've seen. As soon as the referee goes to the VAR booth, you expect there to be something else involved. Was there a handball? Was there a tackle? But it was clear as day, an offside decision. He made it. It was so tight, no lines on the screen that we could see, and he's opted in Wales' favour.
So it stays 0-0 on talksport 2. And we should stress, as David Edwards has rightly pointed out, when referee Maresca went to the referee review area to look at the still picture of Demiral striking the ball on that pass, there were no lines that had been drawn for his benefit on that referee review area. That is crazy. I mean, I don't know whether they forgot how to draw the lines on the picture. Can you sort this out for us, please?
Felt a little bit sorry for the referee because, as you said, to the naked eye, it's so hard to choose. And
I mean, that's what VAR is meant to be there for, to clear up these. And if VAR can't sort that out, the referee is being, as you say, pressurised into making a decision. Wow.
Chris Meppenwee relieved. Anyway, he seemed really confident as the ball ricocheted off him into the net. Straight away he put his hand up for offside. He seemed convinced. But it's an early warning for Wales that they can concede space, they can drop into their shape, but when the centre-backs, Demiral, who's doing it at the moment, steps into that midfield area, they have to go and engage. They can't let him get a pass away like he did, which got Chelikin down that right-hand side.
And now Kengisunda gets away down the right-hand side, whips the ball into the near post. Yilmaz tries to hit it goalwards, and Ward knows it's going to hit the roof of the net, but it did come off a Wales defender. It's a corner to Turkey, 13 minutes gone. It is still Turkey 0, Wales 0, but Wales have had a life, a major life, courtesy of a referee deciding that a goal that went in was actually offside.
Never seen anything like it, but as a Wales fan, you do not mind. They do need to get to grips with their own left-hand side. Turkey's right-hand side causing a lot of problems at the moment for Wales.
And it's a right-wing corner for Turkey, struck by Çalhanoğlu, but a good claim by Danny Ward. Bowls it out underarm to the centre of the half, looking for Harry Wilson, but Kengisunda wins it back and drives out to the left-hand side for Turkey. Aktürkoğlu puts a cross into the near post, but it just bobbles through to Danny Ward, and Wales have got to get a grip here. 0-0, 14 gone.
They certainly have. Turkey just come into the game the last 5 minutes, really on top, really pushing Wales further back. They just need a moment of calm now. What I will say, there is moments you can see that there's acres and acres of space down the side of those Turkey centre-backs. Their full-backs are pushing so high, Çalhanoğlu and Çelik, and there's going to be opportunities, especially with Dan James and Brennan Johnson with their pace. On that turnover possession, if they can make the pass, then there's going to be big opportunities for Wales.
That's former Wales midfielder Dave Edwards alongside me, Ian Danter on commentary here on TalkSport 2 as we approach the quarter-hour mark in Samson. It is Turkey 0, Wales 0. And just shy of the halfway line, it is Bardakci. Long ball over the top, looking to get, I think it was Aktürkoğlu in behind, but it was too easy for Wales to deal with. And Connor Roberts, who scored the second goal in that 2-0 Euros win over Turkey a couple of years ago, he wins the ball back. Good little toe poke from Ethan Ampadu in the centre circle to guide the ball out left for Nico Williams, who tries to set Dan James away. Got a bit of space to gallop into. James picks the ball up down by the corner flag, left hand side, tries to step inside his man. He's brought down, and Çelik gets a yellow card from the Italian referee, and Wales have a free kick down the left hand side of the Turkish penalty area. 0-0.
Yeah, this is the space we were talking about, down the side of the centre-backs. Nico Williams plays a clever ball. Dan James looks like the ball's going out, but uses his pace, gets there, and he's direct. Then he drives at Çelik, shifts it onto his right foot. Çelik brings him down, gets a booking this early on in the game against Dan James. That's dangerous for Turkey, but excellent stuff from Wales.
So it's not been a very good few minutes for Çelik. Thought he'd set up the opening goal. Now he's got a yellow card, the Turkish right back. What it does mean is Wales have a free kick down the left-hand side of the penalty area. There's a two-man Turkey wall. Aktürkoğlu and Ünder. Harry Wilson standing just next to them. Dan James is preparing to strike this free kick. Going to try and whip it in. It's about 10 yards from the dead ball line. Clips it into the far post, goes beyond everybody and out of play. Nobody got a touch. I think he was going for goal there, Daniel James, but it ends up being a Turkey goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, poor delivery from Dan James. So Wales necessarily haven't got the height. They haven't got Kiefer Moore in there. He needed to whip it into an area which could take a deflection. Gets too much height on it, takes it high and wide. Doesn't give any of the attackers a chance to get on the end of it. So poor from Dan James. A big opportunity for Wales to really test that Turkish defence.
I wonder what next for Daniel James, who was on loan at Fulham this season from Leeds United. Leeds, of course, relegated. So where is the best place for Dan James to ply his trade as a league footballer next season? Yilmaz for Turkey meantime. Out steps Joe Rodon to win it back. Tried to thread it through the middle for Brennan Johnson through the halfway line, but it was well intercepted by Demiral. Looks early down the right wing for Ünder. Turkey coming forward again. It's with Özcan. Early ball out to the left-hand side. And the left-back, Kadiolu. Level with the edge of the area. Down the left-hand side to Aktürkoğlu. Crossing from the dead ball line. Hits Chris Mepham, who hits it away. Comes out to Özcan. Tries to drive it. It's blocked by Mepham again. Comes out as far as Bardakci, and again Turkey are trying to hem Wales in their own defensive third. 0-0 on 17 minutes.
Yeah, Wales standing up to the test at the moment. Very solid in that central area of Wales now. Those two holding midfielders, Ampadu and Morel. And then you have the two centre-backs. Turkey did just try to play through the mid, but Wales' body's got back and got the ball.
As Aktürkoğlu just can't control a crossfield pass hit from right to left for the left-hand sided player of the front three for Turkey. Comes off the toe end of his boot and out for a Wales goal kick. So Rob Page won 11 out of his 34 games in charge of Wales, whether it be his interim or the permanent position he got in June of last year. Up against Stefan Kuntz tonight. Played for Besiktas in his playing career before playing for Germany at Euro 96. Appointed almost 2 years ago now. Won the Euro Under-21 Championships twice with Germany. There always have been a lot of links between Germany and Turkey, of course. You think of some of those players like Mesut Özil who could have represented either country. And Stefan Kuntz has won 11 out of his 17 games in charge, as Turkey have looked to find a bit of resurgence in their world form. They're currently ranked 43rd to Wales 26.
I think after that disappointing Euro campaign where everyone expected Turkey to be a bit of an underdog but didn't win a game in that group stage, but since then they've picked up some form, they've been going well. They're in a low Nations League groups which they won at a counter. And some really good players as well.
Wales coming forward. Ramsey's in the area waiting for a cross from the right hand side, which did come his way eventually via Connor Roberts, but there was a foul at the edge of the area on a Turkish midfielder, and so free kick to the hosts. 19 and a half minutes gone on talksport 2. It is Turkey 0, Wales 0. But if you're just tuning in, David Edwards and myself and Danta have witnessed the referee from Italy, Mr. Maresca, have to go to the referee review area to decide whether a goal was indeed on or offside. The VAR people couldn't decide for themselves, so they've thrown it on the referee, who decided that the goal that Turkey thought they'd scored was in fact offside, and it stays 0-0. 20 minutes gone. Ünder, about 20 yards inside the Wales half, rolls it back to Mehdi Demiral on halfway, plays for Atalanta in Serie A. Demiral. Now Bardakci, the other centre half, hits a left-footed pass, lovely pass to find Ünder on the right-hand side, level with the edge of the box. Celik gives it back to Ünder, tries to check back on his left and slips on the greasy surface, and then fouls Nico Williams as the Forest defender tried to bring the ball away. That's a free kick to Wales. 0-0, 20 minutes gone.
Big positive for Wales so far is that defensive shape. Spoke about the disaster really on Friday night against Armenia, how easy Wales were to play through, but the two holding midfielders in Morel and Ampadu sitting in front of Rosen and Mepham makes them really strong through the middle of the pitch. They're forcing Turkey out wide. Fullbacks are playing really narrow. Apart from the ruled out goal, that's the only time they've got inside the fullbacks. So they look a lot more solid, and then when they can win possession, they can just make it count, get that first pass away. There's going to be big opportunities.
Well, I guess as long as they've learned their lesson from that pass that got Celik away, then Wales should be able to keep the door shut more often than not. It's 0-0 on talksport 2. Wales trying to come forward. Bit of scrappy play on this near touchline, and Wales end up winning a throw that I don't think was theirs to win. Pretty sure it came off Aaron Ramsey last of all, but it's been given as a Wales throw just inside the Turkey half, and Celik, who's been booked, is trying to stop Nico Williams taking the throw. Stefan Kuntz can't believe it's been given as a Wales, so I can't believe it's been given as a Wales throw either. Williams will eventually get the ball back into play, looking for Brennan Johnson to turn his man Celik, who toe pokes it out for what is most definitely a Wales throw this time. We're approaching the midway point of the first half. Williams down the left-hand side, looking for Dan James to scoop it back to him, level with the edge of the area, and then a foot in from Nico Williams, too strong, and Turkey will have a free kick just to the right of their own penalty area with the score at 0-0. Dave Edwards.
Yeah, this is suiting Wales. They're trying to slow the game down. They've had a few throws down that left-hand side, now giving a foul away. Just takes the tempo out of the way Turkey are trying to play, takes the atmosphere down a little bit, even though they're trying to resurge it now. Wales need to keep doing this, trying to frustrate Turkey as long as possible.
Well, here's Cengiz Ünder back to the halfway line, and Demiral, the centre-half, fires the ball across to Bardakci. Kariolu up against Harry Wilson, just closing down the space, forcing him to go in field. And here's Demiral once more, the centre-half for Turkey, advancing over the halfway line, again trying to play the ball inside to get Celik on the run, but this time it was struck too firmly downfield along the turf by Demiral. Goal kick, but they're going to keep trying that ball, David Edwards. 0-0.
Yes, the same ball which got them in for that disallowed goal, but this time it's Dan James. What Turkey are doing ever so well is with them marauding full-backs, they're pinning Wales wingers back, Harry Wilson and Dan James. And as you know, wings are a little bit more likely to switch off, as Dan James did on that occasion. Got caught ball watching, the ball got played down the inside of him, and if the pass was weighted a little bit better, it would have been another opportunity for Turkey.
23 minutes gone, 0-0 here, also 0-0 at Old Trafford in the talksport commentary. England against North Macedonia. Jim Bradford, Stuart Pearce are your commentary team up at Old Trafford. Here on talksport 2 though, we're concentrating on Group D and whether Wales can bounce back from that chastening defeat. It was their first home loss in the Euro qualifier since 2011, when Armenia beat them by 4-2. They've had a couple of crazy games against Turkey. There was a 6-4 defeat to Turkey in the Bobby Gould era. When else would it have been a crazy game against Turkey? But Wales were 4-3 up in that game as well. He took off Neville Southall at half-time.
I remember it well, yeah. Seen the highlights on quite a few occasions.
This is a much tighter affair, I think it's fair to say. Brennan Johnson's gone down again, incidentally, with a little grimace on his face as he stretched for a challenge on halfway. He was just caught by Atagoglu. Nothing malicious in the challenge, but Johnson just went down awkwardly, holding his right ankle again, as he was very early in the piece.
Yeah, there's no contact on Brennan Johnson's right ankle, but he goes down holding it. Maybe carrying on from what happened earlier. The way Brennan Johnson and Aaron Ramsey set up, almost like a front two, working hard against the Turkish centre-backs, just means that one of them will be available when Wales win the ball back, and if they can get it into them too, we know they can produce quality. Brennan Johnson's had a fantastic season in his Premier League bow, always threatening, always playing in behind. Confidence, it's really important Wales can get him into the game.
Yeah, his confidence grew as the season went on. 8 goals in the end of the Premier League for Nottingham Forest. He scored very early on in the season at Everton, I think, when they got a draw early on, but didn't really add to his tally much until the second half of the season. But he scored some crucial goals for Steve Cooper. He's now back on his feet. He'd missed none of the action here. Just to remind you, we got under-21 European Championship football coming up. England under-21s taking on the Czech Republic on Thursday this week. Ollie Klink and David Nugent will be your commentary team. That's quite an early kick-off, 5 o'clock Thursday tea time. And then on Sunday they take on Israel. Cameron Pope and Aaron McLean will be your commentary team for that one. And then their final game in the group, England, is next Wednesday, a week on Wednesday, the 28th of June. Again, a 5 o'clock kick-off against Germany. Charlotte Richardson and Darren Ambrose will be your commentary team. We'll see how England's youngsters get on in their Euros. Wales trying to get to a third Euros, but they need at least a point here, you would say, to stay competitive in this Group D. Their final game is against Turkey at the Cardiff City Stadium, right at the end of the campaign, and they really would love to be welcoming Stefan Kuntz in his side to the Principality, knowing that they've got something to play for. Here's Celik for Turkey's to get back underway. The right back gets level with the edge of the area, tries to whip in a left-footed cross, but it's well blocked by Nico Williams. Çalhanoğlu spins on the ball, midway point of the Wales half, leaves the ball for Özcan. Now Bardakci, the left-sided centre-half. Now slipped a little bit further forward by Kukcu. Celik, the right back, infield. Çalhanoğlu just can't control the ball as it was fizzed into him. And Nico Williams sells under a bit of a dummy, keeps the ball in play tight to the left-hand touchline and plays a lovely ball out. Aaron Ramsey keeps it in play, and then Daniel James runs into Demiral, and it's out of play for a throw. And Turkey tried to get the game underway quickly. I've just seen Brennan Johnson go down again off the ball, sat down. I do wonder whether he's not going to be able to continue any further in this game, David Edwards. That's a huge blow.
It'll be a real shame this for what Brennan Johnson brings to the game with his pace and his technical ability. So he hasn't really been in this game. He had the opportunity early on from a tight angle, but this will be a big blow. First, not having keeper more available. Now Brennan Johnson. They're your two main forward players that you would think for Wales. And you have to look to the bench, and it'll be Tom Bradshaw, Nathan Broadhead, you would imagine, unless David Brooks gets an earlier burn. They shuffle the shape a little bit.
Well, Nathan Broadhead, of course, came on against Croatia and notched an equaliser within seconds for that 1-1 draw. Johnson again is back on his feet and he's going to try and continue. If David Brooks comes on, it'll be a completion of a fantastic comeback story. He's already come back in the Premier League having beaten cancer. David Brooks hasn't played for Wales since 2021. We'll see whether he's brought on as we're back underway. Johnson is off the field, so Wales temporarily down to 10. 29 minutes gone. Turkey 0, Wales 0. Ball clipped into the box, but that's easy for Danny Ward to clutch hold of. Really, I guess he should just hoof this ball as far downfield as he can and see if they can get out of play and get a replacement on Dave Edwards.
Yeah, it looks like Brennan Johnson might be coming back on the field until they can get this ball out of play. The Wales just slowing down the box. Danny Ward take as long as he possibly can.
Fires it out to the right-hand side, looking for Connor Roberts, who rises. Can't win the header, but it will drop in midfield for Ethan Ampadu. Try to fire a reverse pass forward. It breaks on halfway. Now a chance for Ramsey to play it out to the left wing, and Daniel James. Plenty back for Turkey, but Daniel James looking to jockey his way towards the left-hand corner of the penalty area for Wales. Ball tucked in field for Ampadu. 30 yards out, plays it up to the edge of the area. Ramsey turns it back left to James. James for the first time, ball straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, Günok, and he fires the ball up towards halfway. Diverted out of play by Connor Roberts, and let's see whether that does herald a change by Robert Page from the bench, but it doesn't appear that's going to be the case quite yet. Ampadu just casting a look to the bench as play continues. Still no Brennan Johnson out there, I can't see. David Edwards. Celik.
There was a delayed substitution in the Armenia game which cost Wales as well at 2-1. He waited and waited to bring Joe Morel on. In that time, Armenia has scored that third goal. If you're hoping the same doesn't happen here as they're down to 10 men.
Well, Johnson has now come back onto the field, moving a little awkwardly as Özcan plays the ball out to Kariolu down the Turkish left-hand side, up against Harry Wilson. Checks onto his right foot, chops his way past a couple of players, but Brennan Johnson back there helping out, helps to dispossess Kariolu, and then Johnson trying to sprint down the right-hand side, fires the ball forward, and Aaron Ramsey is the furthest forward. Now Harry Wilson making tracks through the middle, but Ramsey can't get away from his man and turns the ball out right to Johnson, but Wales have kept possession. Ampadu spreads play out to the near side, the left, and Nico Williams. Now Daniel James has it. Midway point of the Turkey half, down the left-hand side for Wales. Just over half an hour gone. 0-0 the score. England are 1-0 up against North Macedonia. Harry Kane, who else puts England ahead on the half hour. That's live on talksport right now with Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce at Old Trafford. Here on talksport 2, it's Turkey 0, Wales 0. Wales trying to keep the ball in play on the right-hand side, but Connor Roberts can't do so. It's out of play for a throw, and they're persisting with Brennan Johnson here, David Edwards, despite looking in a little bit of discomfort.
He looked to be moving too well, and he just had more of the ball than he's had in the whole game in the last 30 seconds to really test that ankle.
Yilmaz, meantime, down the left-hand side of the box for Turkey. Rise the challenge, pokes the ball across the face of goal, headed out by Joe Rodon. And then there's a foul on Harry Wilson inside the box as he tried to clear his lines. And Wales have a free kick and a chance to relieve that pressure valve once again. 0-0 it stays with about 12 and a half minutes to half-time on talksport 2.
Wales are looking comfortable defensively, really limiting Turkey to very little. They've had that disallowed goal, but apart from that they haven't tested Danny Ward. Wales defensively looking good, haven't created much going forward themselves, but they're starting to have spells of possession now in this last 5 minutes, and so keeping the ball through midfield. Joe Morrell is handling the ball exceptionally well as it comes into him, and it's all about trying to find those forward players. Can they get it into Aaron Ramsey in dangerous areas? Can they get it into Brennan Johnson? Use Dan James's pace out wide.
Certainly Ramsey looks much happier playing with the freedom to go forward than he was when he was playing alongside Ampadu on Friday at the Cardiff City Stadium, with that extra protection that Joe Morrell offers, as David Edwards has already mentioned in commentary. We played 33 minutes. Turkey 0, Wales 0. Turkey having a goal chalked off by VAR, sort of, for offside, although I'm still trying to take in the fact that the referee was asked to go and look at the referee review screen to decide whether it was offside or not. I don't think I'll sleep tonight thinking about that. Bizarre use of VAR, you might say. Ball's back on halfway. Turkey in possession with Özcan. Now Bardakci looks to release Kadioglu down the left-hand side. He's got him behind. Pulls the ball back to the edge of the area, and then Akçoglu gets right underneath the left-footed strike, and it sails over the crossbar and behind into the fans behind the goal. Goal kick to Wales, 0-0.
Yeah, there's an opportunity for Turkey. It's the first time that Kadioglu at the left-back position, who's actually a winger, it's the first time he's got away from Harry Wilson, who's tracked him so well in the opening 34 minutes, but he gets to the byline, cuts it back, then Akçoglu is just waiting, gets his finish all wrong, leaning back, lifts it over the bar, and Wales are let off the hook.
And Wales bring the ball away with a short goal kick. Connor Roberts then gets dispossessed. Yilmaz wins it back for Turkey. Çalhanoğlu in central midfield, and then good challenge by Aaron Ramsey, almost nicked the ball off Özcan, but Turkey have retained possession, and it's with Kukçu just over the halfway line. He finds Bardakci, the centre half, leaves it for his captain Çalhanoğlu. Little short pass for Akçoglu, and now Çalhanoğlu looks to release Kadioglu down the left-hand side of the box. Another good run from the full-back. We've seen that as a real feature, David Edwards, of Turkey's play. With 10 minutes to half-time, it's 0-0. But the full-backs, Çelik and Kadioglu, willing to break beyond their midfielders.
Yeah, forceful running from the full-backs, marauding down the wings, and it's clever movement from the wingers as well. It's Undar on the right-hand side and Akçoglu on the left, and they just drift inside, take the full-back with them, and then all of a sudden the full-backs will bomb forward. And they've been found time and time again. It's really testing Dan James and Harry Wilson, their fitness levels, to get up and down and track them. They can't pass them on because Turkey's wingers are occupying Nico Williams and Connor Roberts. It's important they try and stay with them for as long as possible.
Wales have been dispossessed. Turkey have it back. 5 minutes, or 10 minutes rather, to half-time. 35 minutes play. Çalhanoğlu down the inside left channel for Turkey. Works the ball into Akçoglu. Great step out from Joe Rodon from centre-half to get a toe on it and get it clear at the edge of his own box. But they can't get it downfield, Wales. They've lost it again. Çelik, the right-back, right-hand corner of the box, plays the ball into the area. Attempted touchback by Undar, but Wales should be able to bring it clear this time, and Daniel James is barged to the ground, wins a free kick. And again, that should relieve some of the pressure, but there's a lot being thrown at Wales as Turkey will get increasingly desperate to hit the front in front of 30,000 spectators who want them to consolidate what they did in Latvia on Friday night. It's 0-0 here.
What will be worrying Rob Page is that although Wales are defending really well, they're resolute, they're getting blocks in, they're getting tackles in, they're forcing Turkey out wide, they're not offering anything going forward at the moment. Wales, they're not being able to keep hold of the ball, trying to force this Turkey team back. They're not getting in behind Turkey at all. It's just attack after attack this last 5 minutes of Turkey coming back at Wales. They're having to defend really well.
Nico Williams wins the ball on halfway. Aaron Ramsey, the Wales captain, on this near touchline. Williams goes to ground, wants a free kick, nothing doing. Joe Rodon picks it up, fires the ball into Harry Wilson. Now Joe Morrell in the centre circle, spreads it out to the right-hand side, the far side, and Connor Roberts back infield to Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu getting his head up, then plays a little short pass into the inside left channel for Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey chops onto his right foot at the left-hand corner of the penalty area. He's got support from Daniel James. James, looking at jockey Chelik, finds Ramsey once again now. Williams takes over, steps in field, finds Ampadu in the middle of the park, back out to the left wing. Ramsey takes a touch, floats it in, headed up in the air by Bardacci, and then Ampadu flies to the end, wins a free kick as he made contact with Özcan, but Özcan forced Ampadu over. An awkward fall from Ethan Ampadu, and he's winded, but he has won Wales a free kick about 25 yards out, 0-0.
I was just saying, Wales was struggling to keep hold of the ball. On this occasion they do. They get a ball in the box, and as the ball gets headed clear, Ethan Ampadu rises early, and Özcan knows what he's doing. He leans into Ethan Ampadu, 25 yards from goal. Big fall from the Chelsea youngster.
Yeah, he's not watching the ball at all, is he, Özcan? He's only got eyes for Ampadu.
And the referee is spot on, and he's in good position. He sees it, even though Özcan's not happy. It is a free kick. The referee gets it right, and an opportunity now for Wales to get some good quality into the box.
Well, Mert Günok, the Turkish goalkeeper's not had a lot to deal with in these opening 38 minutes, but can Wales force the issue here? I'm not going to mention his name, but there are certain free kick takers no longer around for the Welsh.
He would certainly be having a dig from here.
The B word, but we won't mention his name. Four-man wall for Turkey being lined up. This is to the left of centre, 25 yards out, and Aaron Ramsey is the favourite to strike it. Wilson's there too. I've seen him score tremendous goals for Derby County at Old Trafford in free kick positions. Will it be Wilson with the left or Ramsey with the right foot? That four-man Turkey ball inside the box, waiting for the referee's whistle. Big chance for Wales to put some pressure on the Turkish goal. It is Ramsey, runs over the ball. Wilson hits it left-footed, deflects off the wall and behind for a Wales corner. Just over 5 to the break, 0-0.
Yeah, Aaron Ramsey running over the ball, leaving Harry Wilson to take it. The free kick's on the left-hand side of the goal. He tries to reverse it back across to the right-hand side. It's a good idea because Günok, the goalkeeper, actually shifted to his right, so there was an opportunity to get it into that far corner, but didn't get enough height on it, and it hits the wall out for a corner.
Corner to Wales from the left-hand side, their first of the game with 5 minutes to half-time on talksport 2. Wilson will take the corner into the near post, flicked that way by Yilmaz, comes out to the centre of the half. Conor Roberts trying to clip the ball back into the box. Good footing by Morel. No, he's caught Kadioglu and gets a straight red card for the challenge on Kadioglu. I cannot believe that. Conor Roberts sent the ball out to the right-hand side. Joe Morel went for a 50-50 ball with Kadioglu. Kadioglu went to ground very quickly, and also very quickly the referee produced a straight red card for the challenge by Morel as he caught Kadioglu on the top of the thigh. Doesn't look a great challenge from a replay, Dave Edwards. No, is it a red card?
I think it is a red card. Disaster for Wales. There's no intent, I don't think, from Joe Morel. It's a bouncing ball, probably 60-40 in Kadioglu's favour, but Joe Morel still goes in for it, lunges with his right foot, and Kadioglu just gets the ball first, pushes the ball away, and then that leaves the six stud to Joe Morel going high into his thigh. Referee races over. Turkish players, arms in the air, putting a lot of pressure on the referee. He was in no doubt, was he? Red card straight out, and this is a hammer blow for Wales. Joe Morel, who's played so well this opening 40 minutes for Wales, been really key in the way they defend. He's kept the ball well, but this is terrible news for Rob Page.
So now Robert Page has got to presumably find another midfielder to help the wave after wave of Turkish attacks, which will almost certainly come their way now. There is a mark on the right thigh of Ferdi Kadioglu as he's back on his feet. So first job, can Wales negotiate it at 0-0 to the half-time interval? We've got 3 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half, plus whatever the referee wants to add on for stoppages, and there will be a few minutes to add on. 0-0, but Wales down to 10 men. Here is Kukcu out to the right-hand side, and Shelik, early ball into the box. Danny Ward claims well and falls on top of the ball. And I wonder whether Rob Page will make a change before half-time, or whether he'll just make do and mend at the break and make changes maybe before the start of the second half. 0-0.
Yeah, I think Rob Page will just be looking for Aaron Ramsey to drop in alongside Ethan Ampadu and just tell Aaron to really hold your shape. Don't get trying to join him with Brennan Johnson. It's so important you stay in that middle of the pitch. Try and get through to half-time, and then we can look at what we can do to get back into this game.
Harry Wilson giving chase as Shelik clears the ball up to halfway. Roden heads it down to the centre circle, but Turkey now attacking down the left-hand side. Aktürkoğlu has got Kadioglu going out on his left-hand side, but Aktürkoğlu went for glory from 25 yards out. Could have played it to his mate down the left-hand side, but instead he went for goal, and it ricocheted up in the air and made for a comfortable claim in the end for Danny Ward. 0-0.
Magnificent tracking by Brennan Johnson, though. Chasing back from that central forward position, catches up with Aktürkoğlu, gets that block in, and then the ball just goes harmlessly then to Danny Ward. They just need to get back into that dressing room at half-time at 0-0. 2 banks of 4 now, really important, really compact. Do not let Turkey play through you. Play narrow, force them out wide. That's got to be the messages from Rob Page at the moment.
0-0 the score. Wales down to 10 men if you're just tuning in. Straight red card for Joe Morrell just a moment or so ago for a high challenge on Kadioglu. England 2-0 up on North Macedonia. Saka with a second for England at Old Trafford. That's live on talksport right now, but here on talksport 2, Turkey with a man advantage coming forward with Çalhanoğlu. 25 yards out, faced up by Ampadu. Slides it out to the right wing. Shelik thought about a first line cross, but gives it back to his captain. Shelik again swings across in right hand side, looking for Yilmaz. Brave header out by Chris Mepham. Here's Çalhanoğlu, who's going to go for 30 yards and blocked by Ethan Ampadu. It's like it's the end of the second half rather than the end of the first. It's all hands to the pump for Wales as they try and take this game to half-time scoreless.
Heroic defending from Wales, bodies on the line, getting up to play, trying to force Turkey to go backwards and go wide. And at the moment they're doing that, Connor Roberts really delaying, taking this throw now to try to get them through to that half-time, but so far so good for Rob Page.
Although he's lost Joe Morrell to that straight red card. England have just scored a third against North Macedonia. Live on talksport, Marcus Rashford back in the starting lineup and back amongst the goals for his country. But we've just moved into 6 minutes of minimum added time at the end of this first half in Samson. Turkey 0, 10-man Wales 0. So plenty more time for Wales to have to hold out here before the half-time whistle. And Turkey are camped around the edge of the Wales penalty area. Ünder, right-hand corner of the box, comes in on his left foot, shoots it goalwards, but it's well played by Danny Ward. Plenty of venom in that shot from Ünder, but well held by Danny Ward. 0-0.
Yeah, just for a moment it did look like Ünder set the ball out on his left foot, trying to curl it into the far corner of Danny Ward's goal. Danny Ward in the end gets across quickly, palms it down into the ground and collects it gratefully, but Ünder always try and cut in on his left foot from that right hand position, likes to shoot from distance. On this occasion Danny Ward had it covered.
Kadioglu for Turkey, ball's clipped forward. Ampadu will win it back halfway inside the Turkey half. Ball's clipped down the right hand side of Wales. Want to throw there? No, it's given to Turkey. Roberts couldn't keep it in play. And then just a moment of silence around the Samson Stadium for a moment. But here comes the Turkey captain, Hakan Çalhanoğlu of Inter Milan, charging over the halfway line. Then has his run halted by Ampadu, so he flicks it infield to Özcan. Özcan clips the ball over the top, down the right-hand side, intended for Ünder, but that was hit too long and too straight, just bounced once and over the dead ball line, and Wales have a goal kick, and they negotiated a third of that minimum stoppage time, Dave Overs. 0-0.
Yeah, I was wondering if the 6 minutes added on would force Rob Page into making a change. It's quite a significant amount of time to try and get through in the position they're in at the moment, but so far Wales are coping with it, in particular keeping that Turkish midfield very quiet. Some of their star men in there, that Çalhanoğlu from Inter Milan hasn't really had much of the game. Kirkju, who's just signed for Benfica for a big fee, hasn't had a lot of the game. So Wales working really well in that midfield area to restrain them from getting on the ball and trying to pick the passes we know they're capable of.
Vital that certainly from this point Wales try and keep a point, take a point back to the Principality. 0-0 in added time at the end of the first half on talksport 2, but Wales down to 10 men. Here's Kadioglu, who was fouled for that red card to Joe Morrell. Down the left hand side of the box, clips it into the area. Williams only heads it half clear, and Kengisunda tried to loft it into the far corner, and he got, well, right underneath it and lobbed it way over the crossbar. 7 goals and 7 assists in his last 16 appearances for Turkey, Kengisunda, but he got that one wrong. It's a goal kick to Wales, 0-0.
Yeah, tame effort from the Marseille winger. Surprised he didn't really attack the ball in the box. He hung up as the ball was delivered from the left-hand side. Nico Williams didn't know where he was. He tried to flick it away, went straight to under. The angle was tight. He just tried to lift it on the half volley over Danny Ward, but in the end he got the connection all wrong, and it sailed high over Danny Ward's bar.
Ward will now clear right-footed from the goal kick, up over the halfway line. Another strong footing for Wales, this time from Harry Wilson. Referee sees nothing wrong with that. Aktogoglu was the man that went down. And Turkey have it back and will push forward up to the halfway line. Çalhanoğlu drills the ball from right to inside left. And then Kukçu out to the left-hand side. Aktogoglu, left-hand corner of the box, looked to find his captain 25 yards out, but the pass was telegraphed and everybody was back for Wales, so Wilson just turned and hoofed it back into the Turkey half of the field.
It really is like it's the last minute of the game, not the last minute of the first half. Wales, everyone back in their own final third.
It's Çalhanoğlu again, centre of the half, lofts it into the Wales penalty area. Fantastic defending from Joe Rodon, and Ampadu will try and clear. Johnson was making tracks toward halfway, but the ball doesn't reach him. Half-time at Old Trafford, England 3, North Macedonia 0, live on talksport. Here on talksport 2, Wales are 0-0 as we approach half-time, but they're down a man. Kadioglu, down the left-hand side, finds Çalhanoğlu. Into the centre of midfield, Kukçu's going to go for goal, straight at Danny Ward. Comfortable save, just patted it down in front of him, and it stays goalless, and we're heading towards the last minute of minimum added time. How's your nerves, David Edwards?
A lot better once we get to half-time. It's tough for Wales at the moment. They need to really try and maintain something on the counter-attack, some sort of threat to make sure Turkey just don't throw everyone forward. At the moment they're just trying to get through to half-time, but what Wales are doing so well is they're forcing Turkey into long-range shots. They're not letting them play balls down the side, they're not letting Turkey into the box, they're getting men back, they're getting men up to the ball, and at the moment it's just been long-range efforts in this added on time.
Aktogoglu down the left wing for Turkey, can he keep it in play? Yes, he pulls it back from the dead ball line, and Mepham strikes it out of play over on the far side for a Turkish throw. We're down to the last 20 seconds or so of minimum added time. 0-0. Çalhanoğlu 30 yards out, clips it to his right for under, gives it back to Çalhanoğlu, up to the edge of the area. Yilmaz can't get away from Chris Mepham, but Yilmaz again will pick it up, go for goal, and it's driven well wide, and it will end up being a goal kick, and that should be that for Rob Page to get his players in at half-time and try and reorganise at 0-0 with a man light.
Once again, Wales forcing Turkey into striking from distance. Stefan Kuntz will be disappointed they aren't moving the ball quicker, but half-time for Wales, they've done it, they've got in at 0-0.
Well, a really fraught end to the first half, but Wales have at least negotiated themselves to the break with a goalless scoreline. They thought they were 1-0 down early in the piece when Chris Mepham turned the ball into his own net from a Celik cross pulled back from the dead ball line. There was a VAR check for offside, but incredibly the referee, Mr. Maresca from Italy, was asked to go to the referee review area to determine if indeed it was offside. We saw no lines being drawn on the pictures he was looking at, but having gone to the review area, he gave it as offside, disallowed the goal, and we played on. But Wales hampered by a straight red card dished out to Portsmouth's Joe Morrell for a reckless challenge on the Turkish left-back Kadioglu later on in the first half. There's also a change for Turkey. Umut Nayir, the man in the mask, is on for Kerem Aktogoglu. in a forward position. He played against Latvia on Friday wearing a protective face mask for a fractured cheekbone. England have just gone 4-0 up at the start of the second half at Old Trafford, live on talksport against North Macedonia, and I do believe it's Bukayo Saka with his second of the evening. And we're back underway here on talksport 2 between Turkey and Wales. I'll run you through the lineups in just a moment. Turkey in all red, Wales in their change strip of all white, and Turkey immediately on the offensive, trying to drive the ball in for the right hand side, but Ethan Ampadu heads the ball clear. So for Wales, it's Ward in goal now, back five of Roberts, Mepham, Cabango, Rodon and Williams. Ampadu, Morel, Ramsey, Wilson and James make up the rest of the 9 outfield players. And for Turkey, Günok the goalkeeper, Çelik, Demiral, Bardakci and Kadioglu in the back four, Özcan, Çalhanoğlu and Koçku in midfield, Ünder, Yilmaz and Nair now the front three. Here is Gökçe playing the ball out to the left hand side, and Kadioglu. Yilmaz takes over, left hand corner of the penalty area, 2 Welsh players marshalling him. One of those, Mepham, forces Yilmaz to go back to Bardakci, and they're just going to have to try and be patient here, you sense, Turkey, because Wales are not going to show a great deal of ambition with this new setup with an extra centre half in there to protect the fact that they're a man light through Morel's red card. Çalhanoğlu teases the ball into the box. Joe Rodon heads clear, tells his teammates to get out, and it's suddenly won back by Dan James on halfway. 3 players around him. He's trying to sprint away from a couple of them, tries to buy a challenge, and he's brought down by Demiral, who gets a yellow card. And that's good hold-up play from Dan James. He didn't quite set off the afterburners and try and run past the 3 Turkish defenders around him, but he did buy the foul, win the free kick about 35 yards out, dead centre for Wales, 0-0.
These are the moments that Wales will have to wait for. Lapsing concentration from Turkey. Wales win the ball back. The ball was just bouncing in the air and Dan James couldn't get it down quick enough. There was 2 Turkish centre-backs in front of him. If he could have got it under control a little bit quicker and pushed it into the space, they'd have been in some real trouble, but couldn't get it under control quick enough. Allowed some Turkey defenders to get back, but in the end held it up really well, gets his side a foul, gets Demiral a booking. So that's 2 Turkish defenders now, along with Çelik, who are booked. If Dan James can find some areas to run at that Turkish defence, that will be a problem for them.
I do not doubt that Harry Wilson feels he can get this shot on target from the distance. It's a good 35 yards out, just to the right of centre in actual fact.
It's almost too central for a crossing position, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a long way out. If he can get a little bit of movement on the ball, we've seen him score some absolute screamers in the past. And boy, do Wales need something special at this moment.
Wilson standing over it, left-footed, over the wall, brilliant save, comes out to the right-hand side, James back across the face of goal, another great save. Wilson heads the ball down, and Turkey clear, and Harry Wilson was so close to giving Wales the lead with a brilliant free kick. Ball's played down the right-hand side, and Wales can't retrieve it this time. Collision of a couple of players, but wow, what an effort from Harry Wilson, which so nearly put Wales in front.
What a hit from Harry Wilson. Thundered a left foot free kick. Looked like it was arrowed into the top left-hand corner of Günok's goal, but he somehow claws it back out. And then as the ball drops, Dan James is on the scene. He has bodies in the box. Once again, can't quite get it under control quick enough. There was an opportunity to get the ball back in, but sensational hit from Harry Wilson.
And a great save from Günok, the Beşiktaş goalkeeper for Turkey, to keep it out, and then he blocked the angle for Dan James as the ball's floated into the Wales box, and that's a good claim by Danny Ward, stepping out from his 6-yard box. England 5, North Macedonia 0, and wouldn't you know it, Bukayo Saka's got himself a hat-trick at Old Trafford, and we saw a replay of his second goal, which was some hit, David Edwards.
Yeah, absolute wonder strike. It looks like Trent Alexander-Arnold's having another field day in midfield for England, and England are rampant at Old Trafford.
That's live on talksport right now with Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce here on talksport 2. We're with the Welsh. Nearly 5 minutes gone in the second half. Turkey 0, 10-man Wales 0. Ünder for Turkey down the right hand side. Ramsey tracking him, gets to the right-hand corner of the box, holds up his run, finds his captain Çalhanoğlu, and then it's worked back to the halfway line. Demiral and then Bardakci. Looks for Karaoglu on this near side. Tucks it in field for Gökçe. Demiral. Çalhanoğlu again looking to Çelik, the right-hand sided defender, who's seen a lot of the ball down the Turkish right. Puts a decent ball into the area. Joe Rodon heads clear. Good skill from Dan James, bursting into the centre of his own half, and he's brought down, and a yellow card for Ünder this time. So a third Turkish player gets a yellow card. I'm not sure we're necessarily going to get to a situation where somebody gets a second, but the jeopardy's there nonetheless. At 0-0, David Edwards.
Yeah, Turkey just a little bit ponderous on the ball. I think Stefan Kuntz hoping they move the ball a lot quicker. That's going to cause Wales more problems. At the moment, it's all in front of Wales. They're having opportunities to win the ball back as Nico Williams defended excellently, then drove out his defence of the ball, wins his side of foul and just takes that pressure off.
So a free kick to Wales. 5 minutes gone, second half. Danny Ward drives the ball down to the right-hand side looking for Connor Roberts, but it's headed away by Yilmaz. Taken down out of the sky neatly. Nair guides it back to his captain Çalhanoğlu. And Dan James is the furthest forward notionally for Wales. And the ball bypasses him and finds Çelik on the right-hand side for Turkey. Trying to slide in Umut Nair, the substitute. Back out to the right-hand side at Ünder. Nico Williams goes out to engage him. Çelik takes over. Aaron Ramsey watching him, and Çelik runs out of room on the far side and just toe pokes it out of play for a Wales throw. Turkey 0, Wales 0 on talksport. So we played 6.5 minutes to the second half. Here's Dave Edwards.
Yeah, that was good pressing from Aaron Ramsey, forcing Çelik out of play, but there's an incredible amount of work for that midfield three to get through. In particular, Aaron Ramsey and Harry Wilson are playing on the outside of Ethan Ampadu as the central one, having to work right the way across the pitch, trying to close down fullbacks, close down central midfielders, and they're going to get tired and tired as the game goes on. But so far, the discipline they've showed has been excellent in the second half.
Well, Aaron Ramsey just barged into Özcan as he tried to win a fairly loose pass that Turkey hit inside their own half. Barged into the back of the Turkey number 5, so it's a free kick to the hosts inside their own half. Of course, the longer game goes on at 0-0, the more frustrated the locals are going to get at the Samsun Stadium. By the Black Sea, Northern Coastal Stadium, that will be hosting top-level Turkish football next season, with Samsunspor winning promotion to join the likes of Beşiktaş and Galatasaray. Wales clear their lines. Cabango fires the ball up to Daniel James. Harry Wilson trying to juggle with the ball as he brings the ball downfield. Loses out. There were 3 Turkey players around him in the end. In fairness to Harry Wilson, just couldn't quite bring the ball under his spell. Is Barış Alper Yilmaz cutting in field from the inside left channel, rolling the ball along to his captain Çalhanoğlu. Thought about a strike, checks onto his left, gets the drive away, blocked away by Cabango, right at source, and it goes out of play for a throw to Turkey. 0-0.
Wales have defended those long-range shots so well this occasion. It's the centre-backs getting up to the ball as quick as possible. Important block from Ben Cabango, who's on the scene quickly as Çalhanoğlu looks to pull the trigger.
Ünder now for Turkey, down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Lays it back to Çelik. Çalhanoğlu finds Özcan. Çelik will look again for Ünder. And back it goes to the right-hand corner of the box, and Özcan can tease up across, whipping it to the far post. It's hit too firmly and will go out of play for a Welsh throw on the near side, the Wales right. But it's right by the corner flag, so Turkey will try and hem the Welsh in here. 0-0.
Yeah, Wales are really frustrating this Turkish team now. Not giving them any opportunities to get themselves into the box of any quality. They have made a change, Turkey, to bring Nair on at half-time. He brings more of an aerial presence, so do expect Turkey to put a few more balls into the box for him to compete with.
That mask he's got on looks too big for him. Looks like about 3 sizes too big. It's protecting his nose and his cheekbones, but it looks a little unwieldy on Umut Nair's face. Here is Yilmaz for Turkey, approaching the left-hand corner of the box. Plenty back in Wales white. Taken over by Gökçe. Looked again for Yilmaz inside the area, but Wales did well. Get it half cleared. Dan James gamely running after it. Loses out to Ünder. who's been penalised for a foul, and he can't believe it. I'm not sure about the legitimacy of that foul. They tried to take the free kick quickly, Wales, but they'll have to take it again because the referee wasn't ready. And the man who couldn't believe that the referee had blown for a foul after a 50-50 challenge with Daniel James, 0-0.
I think Dan James brought the foul really well there. It's a bit of a 50-50, as you said, bouncing in the middle of the pitch, and Dan James almost jumps into under, forces the contact to be made, goes down, gets a free kick. Under, who's already on a booking as well, has to be careful. Wasn't happy with the foul at all.
So the free kick finally taken for Wales. Looking for Connor Roberts down the right-hand side, prevents a goal kick to throw into Turkey in their own left-back position. Now can Wales try and hem Turkey in here as they have a defensive throw? The possession stats increase still further in Turkey's favour. I make it now 72-28 in terms of possession in favour of Turkey against the 10 men of Wales. Cabango on at half-time, the Swansea centre-half. Looks like he's going to have a new manager to deal with. Michael Duff looks to be favourite to take over at the Swansea.com stadium, with Russell Martin set for the Southampton role. As the managerial merry-go-round starts again, Darren Moore leaving Sheffield Wednesday today, and Gary O'Neill making way for Iraola at Bournemouth. Turkey coming forward, hit a cross into the box, and a bit of play acting by Yilmaz because he's gone down, and a free kick's been given Wales' way, very definitely indicated by referee Maresca, and he's telling Yilmaz to get up, having barged into Connor Roberts, who's also told Yilmaz to get to his feet, playing for a penalty that never was. 0-0.
Wales' defensive shape as crosses are coming into the box once again. Excellent. Connor Roberts, as the ball's coming in from Turkey's right hand side, Connor Roberts tucking in alongside Chris Mepham. Yilmaz is attacking the ball on the back post. Connor Roberts' position is excellent, just blocks his run, almost tries to buy a foul, but referee wasn't shaken by Yilmaz, going to the ground and gives the foul to Wales.
And Wales end up whacking the free kick downfield, and it's out of play for a Turkish throw. TalkSport Breakfast comes to you live from Royal Ascot tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Join Alan Brazil, Ali McCoist and Razor Ruddock will join them from 8 a.m, bringing you all the reaction to England, who are currently 5-0 up on North Macedonia, and this game, as well as teeing you up for a huge day of sport, including live racing across the TalkSport network. That's TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow morning from 6. Ampadu fires the ball out of play for a Turkey throw, about 5 yards from the corner flag as Turkey come forward down their left-hand side. Yilmaz, though, couldn't collect the throw properly from Kalioglu under really good pressure from Harry Wilson, and now Wales have a throw in their right-back position. 0-0 the score, 57 minutes gone. A reminder, if you're just tuning in to our commentary here on TalkSport 2, that Wales have been down to 10 men since the 41st minute, and now Connor Roberts has just been booked by this somewhat card-happy Italian referee for what he deemed to be time-wasting at a throw. And there's a rueful look on the face of David Edwards alongside me on commentary.
Yeah, a little bit perplexed. It didn't look like he took too long. He was waiting actually for the Turkish player to retreat a little bit, and he wouldn't, and the referee thought it was Connor Roberts' fault. Subsequently gives him the booking, but Wales have done really well in the second half. Turkey haven't really had a chance on Danny Ward's goal. They have the disallowed goal in the first half, but Wales have defended so resolutely. The work rate they're getting through, in particular that midfield three, Aaron Ramsey on the left side of Ethan Ampadu, and then Harry Wilson on the right, forcing Turkey into giving the ball away or going backwards, just waiting to find that one moment where Wales can really hurt Turkey. It might have been off that Harry Wilson free kick, which caused a great save from the Turkish stopper.
Here comes another cross, headed away by Rodon this time. Really good distance on the header as well. And the man who's still on Spurs' books, been at Rennes on loan with an option for the French side to buy him. I'm not sure whether they're going to take up that option or whether Joe just heads back for pre-season training with Ange Postecoglou and tries to work his way into the affections of yet another Tottenham manager.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the plan for Joe Rodon, to try and impress Ange Postecoglou, and then if not, try and find himself a new home. Needs to sign somewhere permanently and get himself really settled at a club, and Wales will benefit from that.
Connor Roberts clears for Wales from the edge of his own penalty area. Just drift out of play on the far side for a Turkey throw. Nearly at the hour mark on TalkSport 2. Turkey 0, Wales 0. And a couple of changes being made, including one of the young starlets of Turkish football, the 18-year-old Arda Güler of Fenerbahce. But first things first, they're going to make a change and bring on Eren Elmaly for Çelik, the right back, who was one of the players booked. And Güler comes on for Özcan, who was the player that came in for him after the win in Latvia. And you've heard lots of good things, haven't you, David Edwards, about this young lad, Arda Güler?
Oh, he's a fabulous talent. Really does have the world at his feet, this young playmaker, left-footed, really elegant on the ball, make things happen. Played 35 games this year, only 18 years old. Got a buyout clause of 17.5 million euros, which I think a lot of the top European teams are looking at. He is going to be a star of the future, and Wales will just be hoping they can try and keep tabs on him with this remaining half an hour.
So, a couple of changes then made by Stefan Kuntz. And here is Elmaly just on, finds Kochku into the area. Then Güler gets a chance inside the box, tried to sweep his left foot round it, but couldn't get the contact he wanted. He does look every inch an 18-year-old out there, boy amongst men. Very babyish features, Arda Güler, but as you mentioned, much loved at Fenerbahce already. 4 goals and 3 assists in the league, and he only made his Turkish debut last November against Czechia. And a change for Wales on the hour as well. Daniel James has, as usual, run himself into the ground, and Tom Bradshaw is coming on to replace him. The Millwall striker scored 17 goals in the Championship this season. What can he provide for Wales to help see out what we'd love to see as a point, maybe even more, but maybe that's being a bit greedy. Turkey 0, Wales 0. Wales down to 10 men, remember. England just gone 6-0 up against North Macedonia, and I think it's Calvin Phillips who's barely kicked a ball this season in anger for Manchester City, who's scored for his country. Here come Turkey at 0-0, but attacking, 62 minutes gone. Ünder lays it off for Kadioglu. Good skill from the man who's now switched flanks to go right back, with Elmaly going left back. Kadioglu going down the right hand side of the box, drives the ball into the near post, claims for a handball, penalty given. Ball fired in by Kadioglu from the right hand side. Hands out from Aaron Ramsey, the Wales captain, and the referee thought for a moment and pointed to the spot. And after the rear guard action that Wales have put in since going a man down, now they've conceded a penalty. A handball with Aaron Ramsey's arms away from his body.
So unfortunate for Wales. Aaron Ramsey desperately slides in and just raises his right arm as Kadioglu pulls back the cross of his right foot. Does hit his arm clearly. You can see that on Aaron Ramsey's right wrist. And in today's game, especially in UEFA competitions, that is a penalty. Really unfortunate for the Welsh skipper.
So Danny Ward has to face the Turkish captain Hakan Çalhanoğlu of Inter Milan with a penalty kick to put Turkey 1-0 up. They've already had a goal chalked off by VAR in the first half, and Çalhanoğlu now waits. Only a 2-step run up to the ball. Ward standing as tall and as big as he can look as Çalhanoğlu addresses the ball, right-footed, saved by Ward, brilliant save, plunging to his right, it stays 0-0, fabulous goalkeeping from Danny Ward to keep it goalless.
Oh, Danny Ward, magnificent, big save from the Welsh keeper. Çalhanoğlu opts to go to Danny Ward's right, tries to whip it back across his body. Danny Ward guesses right, big strong right hand, pushes it away. Massive moment for Wales.
And he kept one foot on the goal line as the ball was struck, just to make sure it was completely and utterly legitimate as a save. So it stays 0-0. Another life for Robert Page and Wales, but Turkey will keep on pressing, keep on forcing the issue with the man advantage. But we've now got just over a quarter of the game to go on talksport 2, Dave Edwards.
with the way Wales are playing this second half, how hard they've worked, how resolute they've been in defence. The unfortunate nature of the penalty, Aaron Ramsey diving in it, catching his arm. You do feel like Wales deserved that bit of luck. But Danny Ward, fantastic save from the Welsh keeper. Not just stopping the penalty, but pushing it away from any on-rushing Turkish players trying to follow up and get a tap in.
0-0 on talksport 2, and Wales have only failed to score in one of their last 18 qualifiers for either a World Cup or at Euros. That was against Estonia, September a couple of years ago. But they won't mind a goalless scoreline here if they can take that back to Wales. 65 minutes gone on talksport 2. Wales have a throw. Aaron Ramsey, who must be breathing one of the biggest sighs of relief of his entire career, having seen that handball lead to a penalty saved by Danny Ward. So the Welsh captain gets a reprieve. El Mali finds Bardakci, now Demiral. Goulet, this youngster, picks the ball up deep inside right channel, out to the right hand side. Under's got Kadioglu ahead of him, but it's played in field to Kokcu out to the right hand side, just turns away from his man, fires it in field to Çalhanoğlu's just seen his penalty saved. Bardakci pushing forward the centre half, finds Yilmaz now out on the left wing, fires a crossing comfortably headed clear by Ampadu this time for Wales, but it comes back to the red shirts of Turkey. El Mali with a cross this time, headed away by Chris Mepham. Bradshaw, his first involvement, brings the ball down really well inside his own half. Roberts just lofts it down the right hand side, asking Harry Wilson to give chase. Can he backheel it for Bradshaw? Just wouldn't reach the Millwall man before Demiral stepped in to win it back for Turkey. 0-0.
Tom Bradshaw did exceptionally well there, and that's what he will give you. Holds the ball up really well. Wales just got to be careful because Harry Wilson and Aaron Ramsey both got caught ahead of the ball.
Goulet was just travelling with the ball really stylishly through the inside right channel, tried to slide the ball into Kadioglu, but he overhit the pass and Ward just slid out to the edge of his 6-yard box and fell on top of the ball. Quarter of the game to go. Turkey 0, 10-man Wales 0 on talksport 2. Those lucky bucket hats you've got on must be working at the moment.
Gula there just going into the space that Aaron Ramsey left. I just said about the importance of remaining solid. If Harry Wilson has gone forward like he's on that occasion, Aaron Ramsey was desperately trying to break forward to get on the end of something, but he has to stay. He has to stay with Ethan Ampadu, otherwise there's gaps for Turkey to exploit, and they nearly did on that occasion.
Here is Kokcu, infield to Goulet. Might have a go from 30 yards, but instead he slides it out to the left-hand side and El Mali. El Mali just inside the area for Yilmaz. Left-hand side for Turkey at 0-0. Works infield to the captain, Çalhanoğlu. Kokcu again, looks to the right-hand corner of the box and under. Kadioglu on the overlap. Pulls it across the face of goal. Feasted away, and turned in. Finally they break the deadlock. And it's Umut Nahir, the substitute, after Danny Ward got a hand to the cross from Kadioglu, but could only palm it into the path of Umut Nahir. And he's turned the ball home, and after such a great rearguard action from Wales, finally they fall behind with just over 20 minutes to go. Turkey 1, Wales 0.
Devastation for Wales. They defended so heroically. On this occasion, it's the first time Turkey have really moved the ball quickly. They moved it across Wales's box, got out to the right-hand side, and they finally had that overload. It was Kadioglu just got down the side of Nico Williams, cuts it back into a dangerous area. Danny Ward, after his heroic penalty save, perhaps should be disappointed what he does. He reached out his right hand into the path of Nahir, who taps it in.
Now wait a minute, this is getting ruled out. Handball by Umut Nahir, is it? As he brought the ball down, because the ball was palmed out to him by Danny Ward. I don't believe this. It's been chalked off. The handball, and it stays 0-0, I believe, on talksport 2. It hits the arm of Umut Nahir as it's palmed out to him by Danny Ward. He then strokes it past Joe Rodon. Rodon didn't know it had hit Nahir's hand, but hit his hand it did. You've got to feel a bit for Umut Nahir from the Turkish point of view. I think, look, Dave, have Wales got away with one there?
How many lives have they got? That's 3 now. The offside in the first half, the penalty miss, and now what's happened just here? Not one Wales player in that box appealed for a handball. It is, with the rules, it comes back and bounces up onto Nair's arm. Very harsh once again. But is it going to be one of those nights? You just feel like things are going for Wales.
It is 0-0. Let me restate that. 20 minutes to go in the Samson Stadium, and a second goal ruled out for Turkey. First half, offside, denied them. Second half, VAR says it's handball by Umut Nair. And don't forget, we've also had a penalty saved. Çalhanoğlu's spot kick saved brilliantly by Danny Ward. It's all happening on talksport 2, and Wales are still heading back with a point as things stand.
Must be the most fascinating 0-0 encounter I've seen in a long time. Hopefully for Wales that scoreline can remain the same, but Turkey will be so disappointed they haven't got their noses on front. On 3 occasions now they would have thought they have done it, but Wales really riding their luck. But it might just spur them on a little bit, give them that little bit of extra energy they need to get through this final 20 minutes.
Now here's Kukçu out to the left-hand side of El Malik for Turkey, who will again just reset and go again. Out to the right-hand side, Ünder teases the ball out to the right flank, chance for a cross, whipped in. Oh, what a save! No, it's got in. Oh, it's finally got in, and Umut Nair, having been denied by a handball just a moment ago, got his head to a cross on the right-hand side. Danny Ward got his hand to it, but couldn't palm it away from goal. It trickled over the line, and it is now, I fear, a goal that he's going to be allowed to stand. Turkey 1, Wales 0, Umut Nair.
Well, we said Nair gives you that aerial threat when crosses do come into the box. And he just finds himself in between Chris Metham and Joe Roden, finds that little bit of space. It was a magnificent ball into the box as well. And just for a moment you thought Danny Ward had produced the most wonderful saves. He gets his right hand to it, but agonisingly for Danny Ward, as he dives to his right hand side, as it strikes his hand, it just bobbles into the side netting, just inside off the post. Heartbreak for Wales, heartbreak for Danny Ward. But Turkey, it's been coming, and they get their goal.
He scored 17 goals for Umraniyespor last season. He only made his debut for his country in March against Armenia, and now he has his first goal in the Euro qualifiers, and a change has been made, and Çalhanoğlu has been taken off after that goal has gone in, and Irfan Kahveci of Fenerbahce is on in his place. So now Wales are a goal down and a man down, and have got to try and find some reserves of strength and try and force the issue and get themselves level. But Yilmaz is away down the right hand side, pulls it back to the edge of the area. Oh, fired wide by Kukçu. He should have done so much better when the ball was pulled back to him, but he fired it wide, and Wales have a goal kick, 1-0 to Turkey.
Huge chance from Turkey, and it all comes from a little bit of magnificence from their young teenage star Güler, who just drifts a perfectly weighted side-footed pass into the left-hand channel of Wales. It gets cut back, and Kukçu's arriving on his left foot, edge of the box, should do better, hits it hopelessly wide. But Wales just need to try and calm things down now, get together, try and get a game plan in action once more. It's important they don't go 2-0 down. If they can keep it 1-0 late into this game and still wait for the opportunity to take a point back to Wales, but at the moment they just need to stay in the game.
Dave Edwards alongside me, Ian Danter, as Connor Roberts goes down under pressure from Kahveci, who's just come onto the field and has now got a yellow card off the referee. He can't have been on the pitch more than 90 seconds, and he's got himself a yellow for a foul right on the near touchline on Connor Roberts. So a free kick to Wales, and I wonder whether Nathan Broadhead might be called for Ipswich Town, having come on against Croatia at a goal down and scored a crucial equaliser.
I do think the changes Rob Page has made in this game have been the right ones right the way through it. There's only so long they can keep Turkey out, but bringing on an extra striker, maybe sacrificing one of those midfield men might be the way forward now.
Just over a quarter of an hour to go on talksport 2. Turkey 1, 10-man Wales 0, and as Ed Edwards rightly mentioned, there's a pushing and shoving match going on. Ampadu and Barkachi they're on in the middle of it. Bardachi and Ampadu. I'm not sure whether the referee's going to dish out any more yellow cards here, but that was all just a bit of pushing and shoving. I'm not sure what the catalyst for that was, but everything seems to have calmed down. But I was going to say, David Edwards, it is now a 5-point gap as things stand. If this scoreline remains as it is, Turkey would move on to 9 points from 4 games played. Wales 4 points from 4 games played. Armenia, having won against Latvia earlier today, would be on 6 points from 3 games played. Croatia, of course, lurking, 4 points from 2 games played.
Yeah, it looks difficult for Wales in that situation. You expect Croatia to go on and win their games and top the table, and Turkey are most likely to be that second place and to be 5 points behind them. It's going to be a big ask. If they can just get a point, it'll be so important. Wales have got their 2 toughest games, Turkey and Croatia, to come at home. You do fancy Wales to pull out results at that Cardiff City Stadium when they need one, in front of that raucous crowd. But they've got 2 difficult away games as well.
They've got to go to Armenia second last and Latvia in September. They've got a couple of friendlies as well against South Korea and Gibraltar in September and October.
But Wales would have been looking at 4 points from these 2 games.
Yes.
I think going into these camps, these double headers, 4 points they got in the first 2, they'd be looking to get to 8 points after these 2, and to not get any is disastrous for Rob Page.
Turkey 1, Wales 0. Less than a quarter of an hour to go on talksport 2. El Mali for the hosts, works it back to Bardachi on halfway. Slider will pass into the centre circle of Çalhanoğlu. Lovely ball out to the right hand side. It is Goulet, finds under inside the area, just can't turn inside Aaron Ramsey. Down goes Cabango, no foul. Goulet nutmegs him, tries to get round him, but he's helped out. Is Cabango by Nico Williams, and then there's a push on Aaron Ramsey, and Wales get a free kick, and they want to get on with it, but of course the Turkish players standing over the ball, stopping that free kick being taken any quicker than they would like it.
Goulet not lacking any confidence for an 18-year-old, is he? Cheeky back heel which sets Turkey away down the right hand side. He gets the ball back, nutmeg on Ben Cabango. Really does have a lot of talent. Coming on at this stage of the game against 10 men, with pick up these pockets with a lot of freedom. Perfect scenario for the teenager.
So I mentioned Ali McCoyston and Alan Brazil with TalkSport Breakfast from Royal Ascot tomorrow. I'll break off for a minute because Yilmaz is getting away down the right for Turkey, floats the ball into the area. Back comes Harry Wilson to keep the ball away from El Mali, clear the ball downfield. Push surely on Tom Bradshaw. It's just a throw that's given. But if music is more your bag to wake you up in the morning, don't forget the Chris Evans Breakfast Show, live on Virgin Radio from 6:30 a.m. every weekday morning, with all the best music and a host of big name guests that join Chris. Just ask your smart speaker to play Virgin Radio. But you're with TalkSport 2 at the moment. Ian Danter and David Edwards, your commentary team, watching on as Wales a goal down and a man down in Turkey, and just over 11 minutes to try and rescue something from this double header that really has potentially cost Wales realistic chance of making a 3rd successive European Championship.
Yeah, it looks like the qualification is in the balance right now. They have recovered well from that Ometnea goal. They've calmed themselves down. They've got themselves back in the game, not all over the place. So they just need to continue this game into those closing stages at 1-0, still give themselves a chance to get a set piece or a moment of magic from somewhere to try and get that point.
Now here is Goulet, right hand corner of the box. Oh, what a goal! What an extraordinary goal from this youngster to set the seal on 3 points for Turkey, and that may well be that for any hopes that Wales might have had of reaching a 3rd successive Euros, because this youngster from Fenerbahce, 18 years of age, has just curled in a beauty from the right hand corner of the box. 3 points going Turkey's way, nothing for Wales in this international double-header. But what a goal for Turkey 2, Wales 0. Take a bow, Arda Güler.
What a wonderful strike from the 18-year-old. Premier League managers, get him signed up. This boy is special, and we've just seen it. He picks up the ball, the right-hand corner of the box, takes one touch to shift it on his left foot, and you will not see a more accurate shot than this as he bends it into the far left corner. Absolute stanchion. Danny Wall can only stand and look at it. Absolute magnificent from the youngster. Not enough superlatives to tell you how good that goal was. What a strike, Arda Güler.
Well, his first goal in the Euros for his country. 10 minutes to go, and that sets the seal on victory, surely, for Turkey. 18 years of age, the Fenerbahce youth product, and as Dave Edwards said, there's a price on his head. There's a bounty of a fair few million quid to prize him away from the Istanbul club. But that was a goal scored by a young player with maturity way beyond his tender years. Arda Güler, remember the name, who made his debut last November for his country. And with goals like that, Stefan Kuntz is going to be hard-pressed to leave him out.
He's really come on and made an impact, hasn't he? Started the last game. He's been left out today, maybe just for the physicality of Wales, but he's come on. He's so confident, isn't he? He keeps getting on the ball. You watch him, he picks up pockets of spaces, always got his head on the swivel, looking what's around him. And if you get a chance to look at this goal back, you have to. You literally could not pick up the ball and put it in a better position than what he did. Fabulous strike.
Can you think of an equivalent that our listeners would know from the Premier League, like a Jack Grealish or a Phil Foden, maybe?
The way he plays, I can only say he's quite unique the way he plays. Almost like a cross between Riyad Mahrez, the way he tries to get the ball on his left foot, but then he's a bit more elegant in the way he plays, a bit more of a Mesut Ozil type.
I can see a bit of Jack Wilshere in him, the way he carries the ball as well.
Yeah, most definitely.
He's quicker than Wilshere.
He's quicker and a few more tricks, but just glides, doesn't he, with the ball? Looks like he runs quicker with the ball than without. Which is quite a trick. If you can convince us of that, you're going to go a long way in the game. Arda Güler making it 2-0 to Turkey. We've got 8 minutes of normal time to go. England are most definitely home and hosed against North Macedonia over on talksport. 7-0. Harry Kane with a penalty, so he's got a brace. Bukayo Saka got himself a hat-trick. I just mentioned Jack Grealish. I think he's one of a host of substitutes that Gareth Southgate has made in the second half. So he did get some pitch time after all. After all the shenanigans last weekend in the Champions League final. But for Wales, they're going to have to lick their wounds here, and what will happen come September, Dave? It's a friendly against South Korea before they travel to Latvia. You wonder, what will Rob Page have up his sleeve? Will Rob Page still be involved by the time we get to that? You feel like Wales will have to pick up something in that Croatia game, as well as winning the other games, to stand a chance of getting into that top two, unless Croatia do something terrible, which no one can really conceive at the moment if they don't go and win their games of football.
Well, Nathan Broadhead is now being brought on, and I think it's Harry Wilson that's making his way for him, the Ipswich Town man, playing in the Championship next year after Ipswich's brilliant promotion campaign under Kieran McKenna. And Aaron Ramsey is also coming off, so that another youngster, Birmingham City's Jordan James, another 18-year-old out on the pitch, will get a run out for these last few minutes. So Broadhead and James on, Wilson and Ramsey off. Turkey 2, Wales 0, and we've got 6 minutes of normal time to go on talksport 2.
We spoke about the work rate that Aaron Ramsey and Harry Wilson were having to get through. Both players have done exceptionally well in this second half, so there's no surprise that they've changed that to get some fresh legs on. What you do not want now, Robert Page, is for Turkey to go and score 3, 4, 5 goals. Wales lose their discipline, get another man sent off. It is about damage limitation at the moment. The chances of Wales getting back into this game are very, very slim. Just try and keep that score line the same. You don't want Turkey getting any more. You don't want the goal difference to take a hammering. Wales have still got a chance of qualifying, although it's slim after this result. You don't want to take it too far out of your hands.
Turkey have it on halfway with Çalhanoğlu, who missed the penalty at 0-0 just after the hour mark, and we thought it was Wales' night to take something back from the Samsung Stadium. It's not to be, it would seem, courtesy of goals from Nair and Güler. 2-0 to Turkey against 10-man Wales, and we'll look back on that red card for Joe Morrell in the first half, and a penny for his thoughts right now as he sat there in the Wales changing room, maybe even back on the bus, I don't know, collecting his thoughts after the straight red card he received just before half-time.
He made such a big impact as well in that opening stage of the first half. He was very calm and collected on the ball. His presence in midfield was really frustrating Turkey. They couldn't play through the middle of Wales, and the game plan was working. And then the challenge, which was never really in his favour. Çalhanoğlu was always, I'd say, 60-40 to get to the ball, but Joe Morrell wanted to stop that counter-attack. It was just the height of the challenge, wasn't it? And the studs facing Çalhanoğlu, which gave him the red card. And there's always going to be an uphill battle there. And Wales have resolutely gone about their business, but at the end, the pressure from Turkey is told.
Do you want to feel old? Get a load of this. My producer Sam's just given me this piece of information. The day after Arda Güler was born, Wales lost to Austria at the Millennium Stadium in a qualifier for the 2006 World Cup. That was February 2005.
I was playing professional football back then, so that makes me feel old.
But you weren't in the Wales squad quite then.
Not quite, a few years out of it, but at Shrewsbury Town, at his age he is now as well, Güler, and I look what he's doing and what I was doing, it's very different.
Yeah. He is quite the prodigious talent. From this little cameo we've seen alone tonight, as the thunderclap goes around the Samsun Stadium, the Turkey fans just enjoying the moment. They've been largely frustrated for quite long periods of this match. Wales did their best to keep them at bay, and they did for over 70 minutes, despite going down to 10 men, but it's all fallen apart inside 8 minutes for this 2-0 scoreline. 3 minutes of normal time to go on talksport 2. It is 2-0 to Turkey. Coming up at 10 o'clock here on talksport 2. Steph Horton in conversation with Chelsea Grimes, talking about the unsung hero in Steph's career, playing for Manchester City women and England. Over on talksport at 10 o'clock you can react to all of tonight's action. Wales fans, you can pick up the phone and talk about Rob Page, what you think about his future as Wales manager. The Sports Bar with Jermaine Pennant and Jason Cundy open for business at 10 p.m. on talksport. The usual number applies, 03717 223344. Full-time whistle's gone at Old Trafford, and England have beaten North Macedonia by 7 goals to 0, including a hat-trick from Bukayo Saka. Wales coming forward down the left-hand side, trying to fire the ball into the box and look for Tom Bradshaw and Connor Roberts, who are the two players waiting for a cross, but it won't reach them. It's out of play for a throw to Turkey, and Salih Uçan is going to be brought on for the last few minutes for Turkey to see things out. The Besiktas defensive midfielder is going to come on for Kukçu. So Uçan, one of the more experienced members of the squad, 29 years of age. That spells at Roma and Empoli. Made his debut pretty much 10 years ago. Now Wales have won a corner here after some pretty lax defending by Turkey at the back, juggling around with the ball and making a right Horlicks of it. So Wales do have a corner here, Dave Edwards.
Yeah, that was bizarre, really. Tried to hook a ball back to the goalkeeper, Gunnar. He went towards it, bounced over his head. Could possibly sneak in towards the Turkey goal, and he has to kick it straight out for a corner. Maybe an opportunity for Wales just to put a bit of pressure on this Turkey team.
Right-footed entry to come from Connor Roberts. In it comes from Roberts. Flicked towards goal, it's half cleared, half-hearted clearance for a penalty, waved away by the referee. Ampadu retrieves it for Wales down the right-hand side, trying to cut inside his man. Kaveci sticking at him. Ampadu thinks he's won a corner, but the referee says it came off you last. It's a Turkey goal kick as we head towards added time in the Samsun Stadium. Turkey 2, Wales 0.
Rob Page and Wales be hoping that not too much added time is added on at the end of this game, take the 2-0 and get out of their damage limitation. Now you don't want to concede any more goals.
There's going to be 5 minutes, Dave, of added time that we're into now on talksport 2.
Wales have really gone about their business well in this second half. They haven't been able to keep Turkey out, but they've worked so hard, so difficult to play with 10 men in an environment like this. Exceptional amount of work for the forward players, for the midfield boys, and then there's wing backs as well working up and down the pitch.
Well, you're going to be hard pressed to win football matches if you keep getting men sent off, and so for the second international in a row, Wales end up with 10 men, but they played a good deal more of this game with a man like than they did on Friday night against Armenia, when Kiefer Moore got in a bit of an entanglement with the Armenian goalkeeper, who made the most of it. Let's have it right. A red card is a red card, and Kiefer Moore could not be involved this evening as a consequence.
And the problem comes, as you said, the suspension, not just the game here with the red card, but Joe Morrell now going to miss some of the qualifiers, and he is a big part of this Wales team. You see how much better they play with him alongside Ethan Ampadu. It's been a big problem when he hasn't been in the team, and Rob Page is going to have to find a different option to get that midfield balance right. It's something they've really struggled with in recent games, Wales. I think Joe Morrell has been the answer, but they're not going to have him available for the next game. So,
and of course, this is the problem that successive Welsh managers have had, that the pool of talent does not mean it's exclusive Premier League and European top clubs that they can select from. Kaveci, meantime, for Turkey, works the ball down the left-hand side for Güler, turning the ball up to the edge of the area, and it just rolls through to Danny Ward, and it will be a chance for Wales to get the ball downfield. But yeah, you know, Portsmouth playing in League One, number of championship players like Ben Cabango, Jordan James out there,
Ethan Ampadu as well, who's not really found a home yet. 3 loans and 3 relegations, not quite going right for him, but I feel that's a big area, in particular that midfield, which has been so important for Wales over the years. I look back to my time in a Wales shirt and the success in Euro 2016, and you look at the midfielders they had available. It was more the depth that they had. Obviously Joe Allen and Joe Ledley, Aaron Ramsey, they were the stars, but the depth behind that could come in. We had Andy King, who was a Premier League winner, myself, who was playing the Championship, David Vaughan, who was playing in the Championship. There's a lot more players to come in, whereas Rob Page must be looking at those midfield options, and to play along Ethan Ampadu, you've only got Joe Morrell really at the moment, who's playing any sort of football at a level, and that is in League One. That's going to be a problem, and until someone else comes into that role for Wales, whether they have to really look at Jordan James, try and develop him quicker than what they wanted to, there's not quite the answer there at the moment.
We are your home of the EFL on the TalkSport network, and the fixture list comes out on Thursday at 9 a.m. We'll be across it all day on TalkSport as the fixtures for the Championship League 1 and League 2 are brought out. Wales dispossessed. Broadhead can't get hold of the ball. It's out with Yilmaz on the right wing for Turkey, driving for the dead ball line, tries to fire it goalwards, and it's turned behind for a late corner kick for Turkey away to our left-hand side. We're approaching the last minute of minimum added time, and it is Turkey 2, Wales 0. 2 men standing over the corner, Under and Uçan. Not many red Turkey shirts in the box, only Umit Nair, who scored the opener, looking like he's trying to work himself an opening, and Turkey just happy to play the ball around, work the ball short from the corner back into the middle of the Wales half. Çalhanoğlu chips the ball into the area. Up goes Bardakci, the centre half, and a push on the Wales player means it's a free kick to Wales as we play out time here on TalkSport 2. 2-0 to Turkey.
45 seconds left of normal time now. Wales do have a free kick from an offside, but actually just getting caught ahead of the ballers that came back into the box. But Danny Ward needs to take as much time as possible now. Don't give Turkey any more opportunities to get hold of the ball and bring it back into that Wales half.
It's just been thumped back into the Wales half by El Mali. Nico Williams heads away, but Yilmaz will just trot after the ball inside his own half. No pressure on him from anybody in a white Wales shirt. Clipped out to the near side of the left of El Mali, and he'll just leave it for Bardakci. And another crossfield pass hit from left to right. Two Turkey players getting a bit of a muddle, but the referee blows for full time, and back-to-back defeats for Wales at precisely the wrong moment for Rob Page after what had been an encouraging start to the Euro qualification campaign. With the win over Latvia and the draw against Croatia, successive defeats to Armenia and now to Turkey in the Samsung Stadium by 2-0, puts their qualification to a third successive Euros in severe doubt.